Elena Vasquez was working late in her lab when the emergency signal came through. The red light on her communication panel flashed 3 times, then stayed solid. She had only seen that pattern once before, 6 months ago, when she first met Kethvar. She pressed the answer button with shaking hands. The screen flickered to life, showing the massive face of her alien friend. But something was wrong. Kethvar's usual calm expression was gone. His dark eyes looked wild, and there were fresh scars across his gray skin. "Elena," his deep voice rumbled through the speakers. Elena leaned forward. "What happened? You look hurt." "The High Council knows about us," Kethvar said. His words came fast, which was strange for him. "They know about our friendship. They have declared me a traitor to my people." Elena felt her stomach drop. "What does that mean?" "It means I am no longer a warrior. They have taken away my rank, my armor, my name in the family records. I am nothing now." Kethvar's voice cracked. "But that is not the worst part. Tell me. They know about your research station. They know about all the humans there. The council has decided that humans are a bad influence on Gorvani warriors. They think you make us weak." Elena stood up so fast her chair fell over. "How many of your people know this?" "Enough. A purge fleet is being prepared. They will come to destroy your station and everyone on it. You have 72 hours. 72 hours? Elena's mind raced. "Kethvar, there are 43 people on this station. We can't evacuate everyone that fast." "You must try. Please, Elena. I cannot lose you too." The communication cut out. Elena stared at the blank screen for a moment, then ran to the emergency alarm. The loud siren filled the entire station. Within minutes, her research team was gathered in the main meeting room. Dr. Chen, her second in command, spoke first. "What's the emergency, Elena?" "We need to evacuate. Now. A Gorvani war fleet is coming to destroy the station." The room exploded with voices. Everyone was talking at once, asking questions. Some people crying. Dr. Martinez stood up and shouted for quiet. "Why would they attack us?" he asked. "We've had peaceful contact for months." Peaceful contact. Why? Elena took a deep breath. "Because of my friendship with Kethvar. The Gorvani High Council thinks humans are making their warriors weak. They want to eliminate the problem." "Your friendship?" Dr. Singh looked angry. "You mean one personal relationship is going to get us all killed?" "It's more complicated than that," Elena said. "Is it?" Dr. Chen shook his head. "Elena, we warned you about getting too close to that alien. Now look what happened." Elena felt heat rise in her cheeks. "Kethvar is not just that alien. He's saved our lives before. He's helped our research. He's my friend. And now he's gotten us marked for death," Dr. Martinez said. The argument continued for 20 minutes. In the end, most of the team agreed they should start evacuation procedures immediately. They would take the 3 fastest ships and head for the nearest human colony. But Elena refused to go. "You're staying?" Dr. Chen stared at her. "Elena? That's suicide. I won't abandon him. Kethvar lost everything because he was our friend. The least I can do is be here when he needs help. He's an alien warrior who's 7 feet tall and weighs 300 pounds, Dr. Singh said. "What help could you possibly give him?" "I don't know yet. But I'm not leaving." Dr. Chen tried one more time. "Elena, please be reasonable. Come with us. Live to fight another day. No. Start the evacuation. Take whoever wants to go. I'm staying." Over the next 12 hours, 38 people left the station. Only 5 remained with Elena. Dr. Chen, who refused to leave her behind. Dr. Martinez, who said someone needed to keep the station running. Sarah Kim, the young engineer, who had worked closest with Kethvar. Dr. Patel, who was too old to travel in the cramped evacuation ships, and Tommy Brooks, the maintenance chief who claimed the station was his home. Elena spent the night in her quarters, staring out at the stars. Somewhere out there, a Gorvani fleet was coming to kill them. And somewhere else, Kethvar was probably feeling like his world had ended. She thought about the first time they met. The other researchers had been terrified of the massive alien warrior. But Elena had seen something different in his eyes. Not anger or hatred, but curiosity. Maybe even loneliness. It had taken weeks to build trust. Kethvar spoke perfect English, but he didn't understand human emotions or customs. Elena taught him about human friendship, about loyalty that wasn't based on strength or fear. In return, he shared stories of Gorvani culture, their honor codes, their complex family structures. They had become real friends. Elena knew Kethvar's favorite foods, his fears, his dreams of seeing other worlds. He knew about her childhood on Earth, her love of science, her hope that different species could live together in peace. Now that friendship might cost both of them their lives. The communication panel beeped. Elena rushed to answer it, hoping it was Kethvar with better news. It wasn't. The face on the screen belonged to another Gorvani, one she had never seen before. This one wore the red markings of a high-ranking warrior. "Human," the alien said in accented English. "I am War Prime, Thekvar, commander of the Purge Fleet. You will prepare for honorable death. We arrive in 59 hours. The screen went dark. Elena sat down heavily. 59 hours to live. Unless she could think of something. Elena woke up to the sound of metal scraping against metal. She ran to the docking bay and saw a small Gorvani scout ship trying to attach to their station. The ship looked damaged, with burn marks across its hull. "Elena," Dr. Chen's voice came through her communicator. "I'm in the docking bay now." The airlock opened with a loud hiss. Kethvar stepped through, but Elena barely recognized him. His usual ceremonial armor was gone, replaced by simple gray clothing. His massive frame seemed smaller somehow, like he was trying to make himself invisible. But the worst part was his face. Where once he had worn the blue and silver markings of his warrior clan, there was only scarred skin. Someone had burned away his family symbols. "Elena," Kethvar said quietly, "I am sorry for coming here. I know I bring danger." Elena rushed forward and hugged him. It was awkward because he was so much bigger, but she didn't care. "I'm glad you're here. Are you hurt?" Kethvar gently pulled away from the hug. "The burns will heal. The shame will not." Dr. Chen appeared at the airlock entrance, followed by the others. Elena saw the fear in their eyes when they looked at Kethvar. Even Tommy Brooks, who had always been friendly with the alien, stepped back. "Kethvar," Elena said, "these are the people who stayed. They chose to remain on the station." "They are fools," Kethvar said sadly. "As am I." "What do you mean?" "Elena, do you understand what I have become?" Kethvar touched the scarred skin where his clan markings used to be. "In Gorvani culture, a warrior who becomes weak must be removed from society. I have been declared mentally sick." Dr. Martinez spoke up. "Sick how?" "The council believes that friendship with humans has damaged my mind. They think you have made me soft, unable to fight properly. This is considered a disease that can spread to other warriors." Elena felt anger rising in her chest. "That's ridiculous. You're not sick. By Gorvani standards, I am. A true warrior feels no emotional attachment to other species. A true warrior puts strength and honor above all else. But Kethvar's voice became even quieter. "I have grown to care for humans. I have learned to value friendship over victory. This makes me weak." Kethvar's voice. "It makes you a better person," Elena said, "but not a better Gorvani." Sarah Kim, who had been silent until now, stepped forward. What about the Purge fleet? Can you stop them? Kethvar shook his head. The fleet is commanded by my blood brother, War Prime Thekvar. We grew up together, trained together, fought side by side for 20 years. But now he sees me as a disease that must be cured. Cured how? Dr. Patel asked. Death. Thekvar believes that killing me would be a mercy. It would end my shame and prevent other warriors from becoming infected with human friendship. Elena stared at him. You came here to die. I came here to protect you as long as I can. When Thekvar arrives, I will challenge him to single combat. If I lose. Kethvar shrugged. At least I will die fighting for something I believe in. Dr. Chen stepped forward angrily. You want us to watch you commit suicide? I want you to survive. What if we all fight together? Tommy Brooks asked. Humans and one Gorvani against the rest? Kethvar looked at the maintenance chief with something like affection. Tommy Brooks, you have a good heart, but you do not understand. Gorvani warriors are trained from childhood to fight and kill. One of us could defeat 10 of you without effort. Then why are you here? Dr. Martinez's voice was sharp. If you can't protect us and we can't help you, why did you come? Kethvar was quiet for a long moment. Because you are my pack. Your pack? It is difficult to translate. In Gorvani culture, warriors belong to family groups bound by blood and honor. But through Elena, I learned about human friendship. I learned that beings can choose their families, not just be born into them. Kethvar looked around at all of them. You became my chosen pack. I could not let you face death alone. Elena felt tears in her eyes. We're your family. Yes, and a warrior protects his family, even if he dies doing it. The group was quiet. Elena could see the fear and confusion on her colleagues' faces. They wanted to live, but they didn't know how. And now they had learned that their alien friend was planning to die for them. Dr. Chen broke the silence. How long until the fleet arrives? 47 hours, Kethvar said. Then we have 47 hours to think of a better plan. There is no better plan, Kethvar said. There has to be, Elena said firmly. I refuse to accept that friendship makes you weak. I refuse to accept that different species can't care about each other. And I absolutely refuse to accept that you have to die to save us. Elena, you do not understand Gorvani culture. Then teach me. Teach us all. If we're going to face your people, we need to understand how they think. Kethvar looked uncertain. What would be the purpose? I don't know yet, but giving up isn't an option. For the first time since arriving, Kethvar seemed to stand a little straighter. You would study Gorvani ways? Even knowing you will face them in battle? Translave. I would study anything that might help my friend. Kethvar was quiet for a long time. Finally, he nodded. Very well. I will teach you about honor and combat and the ancient laws. But Elena, you must understand, learning about Gorvani culture will not change what I am. I am still a disgraced warrior who has brought doom to his pack. Maybe, Elena said. Or maybe you're a warrior who's about to find a new kind of honor. Kethvar didn't look convinced. But for the first time in days, Elena thought she saw a small spark of hope in his dark eyes. They had 47 hours to turn that spark into something bigger. Elena spent the next 12 hours learning everything she could about Gorvani culture. Kethvar taught her about their honor codes, their laws, and their fighting traditions. The more she learned, the more angry she became. So let me understand this, she said, pacing around the meeting room. According to your people, showing loyalty to friends makes you weak? Not friends, aliens. Other species are meant to be conquered or avoided, not befriended. And warriors who refuse to fight are considered mentally ill? Warriors who cannot fight, Kethvar corrected. I can still fight, but I choose not to kill unnecessarily. This is seen as a sickness. Elena stopped pacing. What about the ancient laws you mentioned? The ones from before your people had space travel? What about them? You said there were rules about protecting family. Kethvar nodded slowly. They do. But Elena, they would not help us. The ancient laws were written for Gorvani warriors, not for humans. Are you sure? Of course I am sure. I have studied them since childhood. Elena smiled. It was not a happy smile. Kethvar, you said I was part of your pack, right? Your chosen family? Yes, but... And you said Gorvani warriors are supposed to protect their families? Elena, what are you thinking? She turned to face the others. Dr. Chen, Dr. Martinez, Sarah Kim, Dr. Patel, and Tommy Brooks were all watching her with worried expressions. I'm thinking we don't run away, Elena said. I'm thinking we fight. Fight. Dr. Patel shook his head. Elena, we are scientists and engineers. We are not soldiers. No, we're not. But we're Kethvar's family now. And maybe it's time to act like it. Kethvar stood up quickly, his huge frame towering over everyone else. No. Absolutely not. I will not allow you to face Gorvani warriors in combat. Allow? Elena's voice became dangerous. Kethvar, you're my friend. But you don't get to decide what I do with my life. You would die in seconds. Maybe. Or maybe I'm tougher than you think. Elena walked to the communication panel and began typing commands. I'm sending a message to the approaching fleet. To your war prime, Thekvar. Elena, stop. You do not know what you are doing. I'm invoking the right of Kethmor, the ancient law that allows a warrior to defend his chosen pack through combat. Kethvar's face went pale gray. How do you know about Kethmor? You taught me, remember? An hour ago. You said it was an old law that nobody used anymore. Nobody uses it because it requires the warrior's pack to prove they are worthy of defense. Elena, that means combat. Real combat. With weapons and death. I know. You would have to fight Gorvani warriors. You could be killed. Elena finished typing her message and sent it before anyone could stop her. Then, I guess I better not lose. The room erupted in shouting. Dr. Chen grabbed Elena's arm. Have you lost your mind? You just challenged alien warriors to a fight. I challenged them to recognize that humans can be brave too. Elena, Dr. Martinez said. Then we better prepare for that. Sarah Kim, who had been quiet, suddenly spoke up. I'm in. Everyone turned to stare at her. Sarah was barely 5 feet tall and weighed maybe 90 pounds. She looked like a strong wind could knock her over. Sarah, no, Dr. Chen said. This is madness. Is it? Sarah looked at Kethvar. You said we were your family. Well, family sticks together. If Elena's fighting, then I'm fighting too. Tommy Brooks scratched his beard. Hell, count me in too. Always wanted to punch someone bigger than me. Tommy, Dr. Patel looked shocked. What? Elena's right. We can't keep running from every problem. Besides, Kethvar's been good to us. Time to return the favor. Dr. Martinez shook his head. You people are insane. We're researchers, not warriors. Maybe it's time to be both, Elena said. The communication panel beeped. Elena answered it, and War Prime Thekvar's face appeared on the screen. He looked surprised. Human female, he said in his deep voice. You sent a message claiming knowledge of Kethmor. This is not possible. No alien species knows our ancient laws. I know them because Kethvar taught me. He is part of our pack now, and we are part of his. Thekvar's eyes narrowed. You claim the disgraced one as family? I claim him as a friend, and friends protect each other. The law of Kethmor has not been invoked in 300 years. Are you certain you understand what you are asking? Elena's heart was beating fast, but she kept her voice steady. I understand perfectly. I'm asking you to recognize that humans are worthy of a warrior's loyalty. I'm asking you to let Kethvar keep his honor by defending his chosen pack. And if I agree? If I allow this ancient trial? Then we prove our worth through combat. If we win, you leave us alone and restore Kethvar's status. If we lose, Elena shrugged. Then you get what you wanted anyway. Kethvar was quiet for a long moment. Elena could see him thinking. Very well, human. I am curious to see how your kind fights when cornered. The trial of Kethmor will take place when we arrive. You and your pack will face 3 of my warriors in ritual combat. Agreed. Be aware, human female. This is not a game. My warriors will not hold back because you are small and weak. They will try to kill you. I understand. We shall see. Thekvar out. End. The screen went dark. Elena turned around to find everyone staring at her. Some looked terrified. Some looked angry. And some looked impressed. Kethvar looked like he might be sick. Elena, he said quietly. I've given us a chance. Maybe our only chance. You have signed our death warrants. No, Elena said firmly. I've signed up to fight for something I believe in. For the idea that friendship matters more than species. For the idea that humans don't back down from bullies. Crom. But Elena, you do not understand what Gorvani combat training involves. These warriors have been fighting since they were children. They know dozens of ways to kill with bare hands. Then you better teach us fast. Kethvar stared at her for a long moment. Then, slowly, he began to smile. It was the first time Elena had seen him smile since he arrived. You are either very brave or very stupid, he said. Probably both. Will you help us? Kethvar straightened to his full height. For the first time since his disgrace, he looked like the warrior Elena had first met. Yes, he said. If my pack chooses to fight, then I will make them ready for battle. Elena grinned. Good. Because we've got 34 hours to turn a bunch of scientists into warriors. Elena, Dr. Chen said, this is still completely insane. I know. Isn't it great? Training began immediately. Kethvar cleared out the cargo bay and turned it into a practice area. Elena had never realized how much she didn't know about fighting until she tried to learn it all in one day. Human bodies are different from Gorvani bodies, Kethvar explained as he showed them basic moves. You are smaller and weaker, but you are also faster. You must use speed and intelligence, not strength. Elena tried to block a practice strike and failed completely. Kethvar's massive arm swept her aside like she was made of paper. Again, he said patiently. This is hopeless, Dr. Martinez panted after his third attempt at a combat roll. I'm 52 years old. My back already hurts. Your age does not matter, Kethvar said. Your spirit matters. Elena, show him the move again. Elena demonstrated the roll, trying to ignore the bruises forming all over her body. It's like judo. You use the attacker's strength against them. Sarah Kim was surprisingly good at the training. Her small size meant she could move quickly, and her engineering background helped her understand the physics of leverage and momentum. Tommy Brooks, despite being built like a barrel, was also improving. It's like fixing machines, he said after successfully completing a defensive move. You find the weak point and apply pressure. Dr. Patel surprised everyone by being the best at strategy. If I cannot move quickly, he said, then I must think quickly instead. Dr. Chen remained skeptical. Even if we learn these moves, we're still facing warriors who have trained their entire lives. That's true, Kethvar agreed. But you have advantages they do not expect. Like what? Gorvani warriors fight alone, even when in groups. Each one tries to prove his individual strength. But humans work together naturally. You support each other. This will confuse them. Elena wiped sweat from her forehead. What else can we use? Gorvani combat is based on honor and tradition. There are rules about how warriors fight, what weapons they can use, how they must move. These rules make them predictable. But won't they expect us to follow the same rules? Kethvar smiled grimly. The trial of Kethmor has specific regulations. But those regulations were written for Gorvani fighting Gorvani. They do not account for human creativity. Meaning you can be unexpected. Elena began to understand. We can fight dirty. Not dirty. Different. Humans solve problems in ways Gorvani would never consider. Use that. They trained for 18 straight hours with only short breaks for food and water. Elena's muscles screamed with pain, but she pushed through it. Every time she wanted to quit, she thought about the approaching fleet. Then the communication panel announced an incoming message. Fleet approaching, Elena. Dr. Chen called out. They'll be here in 4 hours. Elena's stomach jumped, but she tried to stay calm. Are we ready? No, Kethvar said honestly, but you are as ready as you can be. The Gorvani fleet arrived exactly on schedule. Elena watched from the observation deck as 3 massive warships took positions around their small research station. Each ship was 10 times larger than anything humans had built. Impressive, aren't they? A voice said behind her. Elena turned to find Kethvar standing in the doorway. But something was different about him. He stood straighter, and his movements had the fluid grace she remembered from their first meeting. You look different, she said. I feel different. For the first time in weeks, I remember what it means to be a warrior. Because of the fight? Because of you. Kethvar moved to stand beside her at the window. Elena, you have done something I thought was impossible. What's that? You have made me proud to be your friend. Elena felt tears in her eyes. Kethvar, when I lost my clan markings, I thought I had lost everything that made me who I was. But watching you prepare to fight for our friendship, I realize I was wrong. You have shown me a new kind of honor. We might lose, Elena said. Yes, but we will lose fighting for something important. That is what matters. The communication panel chimed. War Prime Thekvar's face appeared on the main screen. Human pack, he said formally. The time has come for the trial of Kethmor. Prepare yourselves. Elena took a deep breath. We're ready. The trial will take place in your docking bay. My warriors will use traditional weapons, bladed staffs, and hand-to-hand combat only. You may use whatever weapons you choose, within reason. Understood. I must warn you, my warriors will not show mercy because you are aliens. They will fight to win, which may mean fighting to kill. We understand the risks. Thekvar's expression softened slightly. I hope you do. Young human. I hope you truly do. An hour later, Elena stood in the docking bay with her team. They had chosen their weapons carefully. Modified mining tools that could be used like clubs or spears, and some improvised shields made from metal plating. The airlock opened, and 3 Gorvani warriors entered. They were all massive, even by Gorvani standards. Their traditional combat armor made them look like walking tanks. Behind them came War Prime Thekvar. He looked around the docking bay, then at the small group of humans facing his warriors. This is the pack you chose, brother? He asked Kethvar. This is my family, Kethvar replied firmly. Thekvar nodded slowly. They are smaller than I expected. Size is not everything, Elena said. We shall see. Thekvar moved to the center of the room. The trial of Kethmor begins now. You will fight until one side yields or cannot continue. Are you ready? Elena looked at her friends. Dr. Chen gave her a nervous nod. Sarah Kim gripped her improvised weapon tightly. Tommy Brooks cracked his knuckles. Dr. Martinez looked terrified but determined. Dr. Patel was calculating angles and distances. "We're ready," Elena said. "Then let honor decide your fate." The 3 Gorvani warriors stepped forward, raising their weapons. Elena raised hers too, and hoped that human stubbornness would be enough. The first Gorvani warrior moved like lightning. He swung his bladed staff at Tommy Brooks, with enough force to cut a man in half. But Tommy wasn't there anymore. He had rolled aside at the last second, just like Kethvar taught him. Elena didn't have time to watch. Her own opponent was attacking, bringing his weapon down in a crushing overhead strike. Elena jumped backward, but not fast enough. The blade caught her shoulder, tearing through her jacket and drawing blood. Pain shot through her arm, but she forced herself to ignore it. Around her, she could hear the sounds of combat. Metal hitting metal, heavy breathing, and Sarah Kim shouting instructions to Dr. Chen. The Gorvani facing Elena was huge, probably close to 8 feet tall. His weapon looked like it weighed as much as she did. But Kethvar had taught her something important. Big opponents had big blind spots. Elena feinted left, then dove right, sliding between the warrior's legs. Before he could turn around, she swung her modified mining tool at the back of his knee. The impact sent vibrations through her arms, but the warrior barely flinched. "Clever, little human," he rumbled in accented English. But not clever enough. He spun around faster than she expected, his staff barely missing her head. Elena scrambled away, looking for her teammates. Dr. Martinez was down, clutching his arm, but he was alive. Dr. Patel was staying back, calling out warnings about incoming attacks. Sarah, Kim, and Dr. Chen were working together against one warrior, using their mining tools like spears to keep him at a distance. But Tommy Brooks was in trouble. His opponent had backed him against a wall, and Tommy's improvised shield was cracking under repeated blows. Elena made a decision that Kethvar probably wouldn't approve of. Instead of continuing to fight her own opponent, she ran toward Tommy's attacker. "Hey, ugly!" she shouted, swinging her weapon at the back of his head. The Gorvani turned just in time to block her strike. Now he was facing 2 opponents instead of 1, and Tommy had room to move again. "That's cheating," the warrior said, but he didn't sound angry. He sounded impressed. "That's teamwork," Elena replied. For the next few minutes, the battle became a wild dance. Elena's team used every trick Kethvar had taught them, plus a few he hadn't. They fought like wolves, individually weak, but dangerous as a pack. Dr. Chen used his knowledge of physics to predict where attacks would come from. Sarah Kim's small size let her get inside the Gorvani warriors' reach, where their long weapons were useless. Tommy Brooks absorbed hits that would have flattened anyone else, and kept fighting. Even Dr. Patel found ways to help. His warnings saved Elena from a crushing blow to the head. His analysis of the Gorvani fighting patterns let the team predict their next moves. But the humans were getting tired, and the Gorvani warriors were barely breathing hard. Elena was bleeding from several cuts. Tommy was moving slower, his shield completely destroyed. Sarah Kim had a nasty bruise on her face, where a staff handle had caught her. The Gorvani warriors were winning. Elena's opponent pressed his attack, forcing her back step by step. She could feel her strength fading. Her arms felt like lead, and her legs were shaking. Then she heard Dr. Chen cry out. Elena looked over to see one of the Gorvani warriors bringing his weapon down toward Chen's head. Chen was on the ground, too hurt to move. Without thinking, Elena threw herself between them. The Gorvani blade meant for Chen's head caught Elena in the side instead. The impact lifted her off her feet and sent her flying into a metal wall. She hit hard and dropped to the floor. For a moment, the entire room went silent. Elena tried to get up, but her body wouldn't obey. There was something warm spreading across her shirt, and everything felt distant and fuzzy. Through blurry vision, she saw War Prime Thekvar walk into the center of the fight. The Gorvani warriors stepped back immediately. "Enough," Thekvar said in his deep voice. Elena tried to focus on his face. Did we win?" Thekvar knelt down beside her. His expression was unreadable. "Human female," he said quietly. "Why did you take a blow meant for your packmate?" Because he's my friend. You could have died." "So could he." Thekvar was quiet for a long moment. Around them, Elena could hear her teammates gathering closer. Someone was applying pressure to her wound, trying to stop the bleeding. "In all my years as a warrior," Thekvar said finally, "I have never seen such a thing. You threw away tactical advantage to protect another. You sacrificed yourself for the pack." "It's what friends do," Elena whispered. Thekvar stood up and addressed the room. "The trial of Keth Mor is complete." Elena's heart sank. They had lost. The humans would die, and Kethvar would remain in disgrace. But Thekvar wasn't done talking. "I came here believing that humans had made my brother weak," he continued. "I believed that friendship with aliens was a disease that needed to be cured." He paused, looking around at Elena's battered team. "I was wrong." Elena felt Dr. Chen's hand squeeze hers. "These humans have shown true warrior spirit," Thekvar announced. "They fought with courage, intelligence, and honor. But most importantly, they fought as a pack. They put the survival of their family above their individual glory." Thekvar looked down at Kethvar, who was kneeling beside Elena. "Brother, you have not been weakened by human friendship. You have been strengthened by it. These beings have taught you something our people had forgotten. That true honor comes not from standing alone, but from standing together." Kethvar's eyes went wide. "Thekvar, I hereby restore your warrior status, Kethvar of the Third Clan. Your clan markings will be renewed, and your name will be returned to the family records." Elena felt tears of relief running down her face. But Thekvar wasn't finished. "Furthermore, I declare humans to be an infant warrior species, worthy of respect and protection. Any Gorvani who harms these beings without cause will answer to me personally." Dr. Patel spoke up from somewhere behind Elena. "What does that mean, exactly?" "It means you are under our protection now," Thekvar explained. "It means that your friendship with Kethvar has made you part of something larger. You are the first humans to earn a place in Gorvani society." Elena tried to sit up, wincing as pain shot through her side. "We're ambassadors? You are pack," Thekvar said simply. Sarah Kim laughed, a sound halfway between joy and hysteria. "We did it. We actually did it." Tommy Brooks was grinning despite his injuries. "Damn right we did." As Dr. Chen helped Elena to her feet, she looked around at her friends, her pack. They were battered and bleeding, but they were alive, and they had proven something important. They had proven that friendship could cross any boundary, even the vast distances between stars. 3 months later, Elena stood in the same docking bay where the trial had taken place. But now it was filled with humans and Gorvani working side by side, learning from each other. Her wounds had healed, leaving only small scars as reminders. Kethvar wore his restored clan markings with pride, but he also wore a new symbol, one that marked him as a bridge between two worlds. "Elena," he said, joining her at the observation window. "The Council has approved the exchange program. 20 more humans will come to study with us next month." Elena smiled. "And 20 Gorvani will go to Earth to work with our scientists." "Yes, it is a good beginning." Elena looked out at the stars. Somewhere out there were billions of species who had never met each other, who might never learn to be friends. But here, in one small research station, humans and Gorvani had proven that friendship was stronger than fear. It was a start.